What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope it is a Finisher Friday, and we could have been on a free fall Friday at that. So we'll talk about what's kind of going on in the market today, and kind of what we were talking about yesterday, and you know, very much just wound up not happening. That we set up very nice this morning to have a free fall Friday. So we had a little bit of a gap down. We'll go over some of the economic data that we got this morning as to why we did gap down. But we gapped down a little bit over 0.5%. A little bit over 0.5%, about 0.6% there. And it was choppy, man. This first 45 minutes, 30 minutes, I mean, it was choppy here. I mean, it was trying to roll over. We got some quick, sudden bounces. We tried to roll over, bounce, but we kind of trended lower. And then that was about the first 30 to 40 minutes. And then we bounced pretty hard. We had a pretty hard bounce. When we got this candle to come in right here, about 40 minutes into the trading day, I was like, ooh, because I don't know, man. It just seemed weird. Like we were having a hard time kind of breaking this level, and then we did. And then we had a quick snapback here on this 5 minute. But I still wasn't sure. Like we still could have rolled over, and we tried to. But it was really kind of more of this candle here. We had a super low volume 5 minute candle after this snap up, and that's kind of where you will typically see okay, low volume candle. People aren't stepping in to match what whatever the preceding movement was doing. Like this preceding movement of this bullishness, there wasn't much bearishness that kind of came afterwards. And then yeah, we got this candle came in. It was like, all right, we're gonna go on a run here. And it was pretty obvious at that point in time when this started happening. We got above the kind of this line here around the 422.10 area on the SPY, and it was basically game on. It was about a 2 hour rally here for a good part of almost 2 hours. And then we had a little bit of a pullback for about 30 minutes, and we kind of pushed higher for another hour or so, but not nearly the pace that we had for that 2 hour little run that we had this morning. Then, yeah, there it is. We're kind of sitting up at the daily highs right now. Qs led a lot of this. They were not breaking down really at all. Kind of as the SPY was trending lower, right? The SPY kind of had trended a little bit lower, even right here into the first 30 minutes. The Qs didn't. The Qs didn't. Kind of just went sideways here and got that pop. And the Qs definitely led it higher. Qs are up 1.5%. The SPY's up 1.22%. 1.2%. So, okay. Not too unexpected, right? If you kind of paid attention yesterday, I said if we don't break down soon, we're going to get a pop in the market. There was every bit of the markets of the opportunity for the bears to absolutely crush the market this morning, and I mean it, every bit of it. We had a little bit over 0.5% gap down. We were down at the lows of where we've been for basically this whole week, right? This whole week we've gotten below 422 for the past 4 days. The only day where we actually didn't trade below 422 this week was Monday, right? But it wasn't like we didn't do, it wasn't like Monday was a bullish day. It was just kind of just a big doji, and then we just broke down on Monday, and we kind of just been down at this level. Now, it's kind of interesting. Last Friday we gapped up and we faded. This Friday we gapped down and faded. This Friday today, very aggressive, very aggressive. Kind of makes me think that a lot of it is short covering, in my opinion, because that's typically like I don't know the way the daily patterns were setting up here over the past couple of days. That's the kind of move that you would expect to see. Like, hey, we're no longer continuing to break down. Then people kind of short cover all at once, pops the market, and then they reposition, possibly to get bearish. The other thing is when you look at the Qs, right? Well, the Qs didn't break down last week's low, right? We were kind of talking about that. It did not break down last week's low. So Qs were looking pretty bullish. Qs did fill this skim. Hold on before I actually say that. 460, 364.46. What was the high of today? So we haven't quite filled this gap we missed it so far by about 6 pennies right here to this low back on September 20th here. Fill this gap. But yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a run. Probably will fill it. If we don't fill it today, we'll probably fill it Monday. I seriously doubt we sell down at all by close, any significant amount. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, we'll probably would retest up over this level. I was really kind of thinking we would retest into this low originally. Now, but we didn't quite get there last Friday, so I think maybe we do it next week, and then maybe we see some selling come back in. But we still are just chopping here sideways in the 420s. We haven't broken 420 yet. We've kind of been under 430 good part of the past 2 weeks. So even if we do push higher, I mean, we could definitely just come right back down next week. So I would fully expect us to push higher early next week. All right, so that's roughly some general thoughts right now, as the way I look at it. But I don't know. I'm still not super. I wouldn't be super aggressive bullish here, and big reason why is dollar and yields, which you see yields are up 1.25% today, and they're not like it's not like they're falling off. Dollars dropping a little bit today, and we'll take a look at when they started really kind of dropping off. But they both kind of were dropping off when the market was rallying, but they both popped really good this morning when we got the economic data. DIA coming up into that daily 10 EMA. So is the IWM's getting kind of close to it. IWM's also retesting this level, the 173.50 level, but earlier in the week, on Monday, what was this? Tuesday. For how much the SPY, or the IWM, not the SPY, the IWM had kind of just gotten wrecked there between Thursday, Friday, and Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Like, it was just coming into a really, really solid zone here of, I kind of said, don't try to be bearish on the IWM here. Like, it's been very choppy. It has very quickly come into this zone, and this is where typically it has a choppy zone. So yeah, it's IWM though. Not I wouldn't be trying to be bearish right now. Let it set up a little bit more. DIA catching that 10 EMA coming down. All right. RSP equal weight SP 500. Nice move up there, and that's kind of telling you how broad based the buy up today was. It was pretty broad based. A lot of things non-tech are definitely lagging behind though. Just tech is, the Qs are outpacing everything by about 1.6%. Okay, Federal Reserve balance sheet data did come down a little bit. Did drop about 0.8% on the week. So okay, coming down. That's all we need to know. So the VIX still on a pretty large upper wick. Yep, you can see that it's reversed today as well. All right, it's about the way you'd expect it to look. The DXY, the dollar index. Okay, nice upper wick on the day. So this morning we got a very strong pop here. If we take a look at the SPY, I can turn on extended trading hours. Got a quick drop there, and this drop, which I'm really kind of surprised the market actually turned this around, but we weren't just dropping off, and you wanted to see the market just drop off, and it was just taking too much time this morning. But the dollar got that pop, and then it kind of faded, and that was this fade kind of coincides with stock market fading. Dollar faded down, stock market faded up, and yeah, that's about all you need to know. It's been kind of choppy here the past 2 hours, not really doing a whole lot. We'll see if it rolls back down or if it starts to push higher, higher here going into the end of the week. Dollar though on daily looks very interesting, as it definitely is. It's going to break the 10 EMA here and pull back. Probably one of the steeper pullbacks it's had in this entire run since the middle of July. Had a pretty good pullback here at the end of August, but the entire month of September, I mean, just took off. So looks like it's definitely going to close under that 10 EMA. See how this sets up early parts of next week. It can definitely find some support off the 20 because it kind of did that here at the end of August. When it actually broke the 10 EMA, it got some support off the 20 EMA and kind of continued to push higher. Gold, yeah, getting a little bit of a bounce action. Kind of mentioned that it was kind of coming into this spot here. So it kind of, I mean, a lot of things needed to rest. There's been some pretty big movement on some things over the previous 2-3 weeks. That things just kind of need to rest a little bit. Not to say that they're not going to go bearish later on. Not to say it's not a good spot to be trying to maybe buy the dip or short the retest or whatever, sell the rip or whatever is going on across whatever market you're looking at. But 10-year yield, very nice strong pop this morning, faded down, kind of got a hump over kind of like what the dollar looks like, right? Pop, faded, kind of got a hump over. So yeah, we'll see how it looks going forward. The thing that a lot of people are very unaware of, and it's it is just understanding how valuations kind of work. And not to say that people are stupid or idiots. That's not what I'm trying to say. But there's so much talk over the past 10, 20, even 30 years about just growth, outright growth. GDP increasing, labor market, payroll. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that stuff. Manufacturing, like all of that is growth, okay? And the market valuations is broken down into three things. Well, two things: growth and valuation, or value of future cash flow. And growth, which is a big deal, I'm not gonna say it isn't, is one that really people have only had to kind of understand really or pay attention to over the past couple of decades in the markets. The other area about investment valuation is one that they haven't had to worry about. And this is where yields continue to put pressure on that part of equity valuation or any kind of valuation. As yields go higher, it decreases the value of future earnings. And so, if you grow at 2%, but your discount rates or your rates of which you discount future cash flows rises at like 3 or 4%, well, it's very possible that your the value of whatever you're trying to value is becoming less. So, anyways, yields are very important. They're not breaking down. Like dollar having a pretty good pullback, having a pretty good pullback. But just look at yields. Yields are, this looks more like a sideways pattern. Kind of got some nice upper wicks here. I'm not gonna say these upper wicks look beautiful for continuation. They definitely don't. But they're not like a breakdown either. Let's look at hourly. Let's look at an hourly. So we had a quick run up to this level. We came back nice, nice kind of like little um, a saddle type setup here, and then we got a quick spike up to that level. Actually took out that high, and then it came back down. But I don't know, man. It's just it could definitely just continue to chop a little bit early next week, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday starts to push higher. I mean, the market's gonna not like. I mean, it's not gonna like that. It's not gonna like that at all. And I don't know, man. It just doesn't look like the market's ready to. It's not like the market doesn't look like it's done with yields. It just doesn't look like it's done with yields. Um, HYG, nice gap down, buy up action there. LQD, huge gap down, kind of buy up action there. Gap down, buy up there on the TLT. Okay, so all that being said, like the market looks good, it looks strong today, but like that's kind of just what happens when you just get technical kind of moves, I guess. Kind of looking at what's coming up next week. We got a lot of stuff next week. We got CPI, GDP. That's UK GDP. So yeah, we're gonna have inflation rate, FOMC minutes, PPI. So we're gonna have some stuff next week. We're gonna have some stuff. Consumer survey, consumer sentiment. Okay. Unemployment rate was basically flat. Came in at 3.8%, which is, I mean, a tad higher than forecast. Prior was 3.8%, so it was basically flat. Didn't really do much of anything. Non-farm payrolls was the big deal. Non-farm payrolls, a lot of jobs added. A lot of jobs added. And well higher than forecast. That was basically double the forecast. So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of people like able to get jobs. Jobs are getting filled, and there's almost there's little reason for the Fed to not continue to be restrictive. And if that's the what you're seeing from the data, then maybe they don't raise rates, but they definitely aren't lowering them. And then, you're going to see yields probably stay higher, or maybe even continue to push higher. I kind of like the way this looks and think that this might continue just a little bit higher here over the next week or two. And when that happens, I mean, people are going to be like, wait, what? We broke through 4,200? And that's, you can see several days, 4 days this week. I mean, we were down lower 420s. We didn't break through. And people, they were buying it, man. They were buying it, but we just weren't able to get through. Next time we come down, we're going to go through it. We'll go through it. So... we have filled this gap on the Qs, so that gap has been filled. Kind of curious. Yep, gap filled. All right. I really am what I'm really watching though is the Qs, and I'll mention this on the weekly outlook. Is really the Qs. I want to see the Qs kind of top off, roll over. If the early part of next week we see the Qs actually start to get hit, and maybe the SPY is kind of flat and the SPY pushes up maybe like a Tuesday, maybe early Wednesday, and then but we're seeing the Qs actually selling off like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I would start to be pretty aggressive on maybe looking to get bearish, because if the Qs come down, take out this level first, now before the SPY gets back down and takes out 420. That would be, I think that would be big time. That's what you're looking for to be bearish. Um, Anyways, let's take a look at sector rotation. Let's see what's moving today because we got some good things. Price action today. We really do. All right, we got. So with the gap today, what gap down a lot? Is this utilities? Utilities gap down quite a bit. Yeah, it looks like utilities gap down quite a bit. Staples also having a bad day. Utilities coming back quite a bit. People are definitely buying up utilities. Staples underperforming the most today. Discretionary is underperforming quite a bit. So we'll take a look at Amazon or Tesla. Real estate, yeah, utilities, healthcare, financials, materials are outperforming. Where's energy? Energies are basically in line with the market. Basically in line with the market. Yeah, financials a little bit underperforming. Energies are basically in line with the market. Materials outperforming. Industrials, communication, and tech outperforming. So that's how the day's going. Utilities, yeah, you see utilities, even though it gapped down quite a bit. I will say, man, it came back pretty strong. Utilities, people are flooding into utilities. So yeah, utilities looking pretty good on intraday buying there. Staples, yeah, on the lagging side. And you can basically see that little 2 hour market rip that we had. Like most of everything was kind of involved in it. Everything kind of trended up, and that's why I was like, yeah, it was mostly just short covering because we just weren't breaking through that 420 level on the SPY. XLV underperforming, materials underperforming, discretionaries, financials, energies underperforming, real estate's in line with the market, industrials, communications, tech outperforming, and utilities definitely got quite a bit of buy up today. Utilities are up 2.6%. All right. Okay. They were doing pretty good earlier in the week. There was one day that they were getting bought up. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's see. Sector performance. Real estate. How is real estate doing? Real estate getting some buying action there on real estate. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. So real estate came down, snagged this low from October of last year. I'm kind of liking REITs myself. Materials. Yeah, materials at a pretty good spot. This spot from back in December. Nice little spot there. Industrials. Look at that move on industrials today. Up to the 10 EMA. Whew. Nice. Financials. Moving higher. Okay. Energy's not doing too bad with how commodity prices have moved this week. Definitely made a new daily low. Weekly lows today. Okay. Saw some buying come in on energies. All right. Utilities. So utilities, even though it's only up like 1%, this has seen the most intraday like movement. It got hit initially, but man, it ripped. It ripped here for 2 hours, super hard. What's going on, Black Beauty? We squeezing today for sure. Oh yeah, we're squeezing today. It didn't. We weren't able to break through that 420 level and just started squeezing, man. Yeah, XLV, nice move higher. Ooh, XLP. Man, look at that. Wow, XLP came all the way down, took out this low from October of last year. I have no idea why the XLP just got absolutely face ripped off here over the past several weeks. Several weeks just gotten face ripper sell off. I would have been buying that XLP today. That is a sweet, sweet spot to be buying XLP. Staples, any kind of find your best staple stock. Go buy it up. That looks really good. Discretionary, lagging behind a little bit today. Nice gap down. Nice gap down. It definitely did get the rally. Kind of looks more. I mean, I know today's a pretty bullish day, but I mean, it looks more sideways here than anything else. XLC looks pretty good. So we'll take a look at Meta and Alphabet. XLK looking pretty good. Okay. All right, let's all right. Take a look here at AAPL. Apple's up 1.4%. Not bad. So AAPL. Okay. AAPL. Looking all right. Microsoft. Microsoft had a pretty good day too. Up 2.5%. It's continuing to trend higher here during this time period, and the market really hasn't. Market's kind of, I mean, it's been trending higher, but not like Microsoft. Microsoft's definitely been trending higher. All right. People taking the opportunity to buy the dip. Alphabet. People. Oh my gosh, look at that! People bought the dip right away on Alphabet. Just pop. Yeah, I mean, Alphabet's pretty good, man. Alphabet's looking good. Meta. Oh, Meta's definitely getting it today. Oh my gosh, look at that move on Meta. Finally getting away from this 300 level on Meta. Not looking too bad. I still don't care for it. I don't like Zuck, man. I just don't care for Zuck and whatever he's trying to do. Okay, so Amazon. So Amazon had a pretty large gap down. It's up 1.4%. Definitely got bought on the open. And that's the thing. You look at a lot of these big tech stocks, man. They got bought on the open. Tesla is basically flat. This is where discretionaries are underperforming. Tesla, pretty large gap down here. See, how much did this thing gap down? Down 2.3%. And then nice rally there for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But it's basically flat. The rest of the market's up over 1%. Tesla's down. Tesla's flat, and the market's up over 1%. That's not really the best signs for Tesla. Yeah, we'll probably just continue higher in early next week. Unless yields start to really climb. What are they doing right now? They're just kind of flat. They're not doing much. I mean, I get it. They pulled back, but yields are still up on the day. Think about this. The yields are up 1.2% on the day, and the stock market's up about 1.4%. Kind of like a side phase. Should we be up that much? I don't think we should. I get it, man. Yields have pulled back from their highs, but it's not like they're down. the dollar's down, but the dollar still hasn't changed its trend. The dollar hasn't taken out this lower wick from September 29th. Yields are still positive, in the market's up 1.5%. So I don't know, man. Like, with how much buying that we are seeing today, I would imagine we probably do go higher early next week. Maybe it's just Monday. Maybe we just pop up a little bit and come back down. Come just fill this gap right at the bottom of August, or not fill this gap, but retest right on the bottom here of August 18th, and then maybe we roll over. But I mean, strong buying that came in. But I just think it was, people short covering because we spent 4 days, the past 4 days, today, Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, under 422 at some point in those days, and we never broke down through 420. 3 of the past 4 days we got under 421, today included. So yeah, just like we just weren't able to get through. And I was kind of mentioning that yesterday. It's hey, like it's kind of like do or die time now to continue that sell down. And we had every reason to do it today because we had a nice gap down to the lower parts of the week. But in that first 30 to 40 minutes, we didn't just sell off. Like, that's what you wanted to see. You wanted to just see us sell off. And we didn't really. We just kind of just chopped around a little bit. And I was kind of keeping my eye on the Qs as well. And the Qs were just sideways. And then they all popped. They all popped about 45 minutes into the day, and they just went on a run. Black Beauty, how can the dollar and Aussie dollar be up at the same time? Nuts. That's a great question, man. I have no clue. I don't track. I don't track the currencies all that much. AUD. Did I literally just go to Autodesk? Jesus. Here we go. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's so hard for me to. I'm just gonna say I don't know because I don't know. Typically, you don't see that. You don't see that relationship. Like if one's up, one's gonna be down, right? So there must be something else kind of going on in that dynamic. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. I would expect us early next. Okay, so this would be my game plan for next week. This is what I'll be watching because this is about the only thing that matters. So yesterday we were kind of talking about how the Qs did not make a new low, right? It did not make another low compared to last week. Last week, September 27th, that was the Qs low. The Qs didn't make another low. SPY did make a new low this week. It took out last week's low, and it's been a better part of 4 days this week trading under last week's low at some point in time. So, we were kind of talking about, the Qs aren't really breaking that down. Qs aren't really breaking that down. I like the daily. Zabak. Where is VWAP for? I don't know what you mean by that. Where is VWAP for? What is your favorite time frame? I like the daily. I like looking at the daily. Looking intraday, I like the 5 minute. I do like the 5 minute. Did I lose the day? No, I didn't lose the day. No, I didn't lose the day. I am market neutral, and that is because of this pattern right here. I have no freaking clue what we're doing. We are just in the big desert of no man's land. All the bullish paths, the green vertical lines, I have no idea what's going on. We're under that. We're above this, so I don't know. I still think we should come back down to at least October a year ago lows, October of a year ago lows. But I don't have a favorite indicator. I don't really care for indicators at all. I'm a analytical trader, investor. I don't care about technicals, or I don't care about indicators all that much. I know how to use RSI and MACD. Yes, I have a setup for them, but this is it. And mostly it's geared to the daily, daily and weekly. Yes, I mostly look at price action. So, yeah, this is kind of curious. Let me look at the hourly. So yeah, we had a little bit of a divergence here on an hourly time frame. You see the price action went lower from last week to Tuesday of this week, but we had higher moves on both the oscillator and the MACD. So that's kind of telling you, like, we got the oscillators moving, the indicators are moving higher, so it makes sense we pop. I just don't know if it continues next week all that much. I really just don't. I hate blondes. Then I don't hate blondes. I just prefer brunettes. Um, the thing I'll be looking for next week. This is what I'll be looking for next week. Qs. If the Qs start to trade down Monday and Tuesday and even Wednesday, if they trade down and the SPY actually pushes up one of those days, it maybe even makes a run up to like 433 or so, comes and retests into this low that we had back on August 18th, and then it breaks down, maybe like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, that's what I would be looking for. If that happens and the Qs get halfway through today's price action, maybe like back down below 360, and it doesn't take out today's high, the SPY maybe does take out today's high, maybe retest a little bit higher, but you see the Qs lead the sell down early next week, I would be more aggressive about being bearish if that was to start happening. That's what I would like. If you wanted to be bearish, that's what you're looking for. You want to see the Qs actually sell down more than the SPY. You want to see the SPY push maybe a little bit higher, but during that time where the SPY is pushing higher, the Qs are actually selling off a little bit or down a little bit. So, anyways, that's basically what I'd be looking for. Other than that, I got nothing, man. I'm just here to observe until I feel like the market gets back into a situation I'm confident putting everything back into the market. Tesla's not doing good today. I can tell you that. Tesla had a pretty large gap down. Tesla gapped down pretty good. How much did it gap down? Like 2.5% or something like that. 2.33%. Yeah, it was a pretty good gap down there on Tesla. So, but yeah, I mean, we're just probably gonna continue to push higher. I would keep my eye on yields though. Like yields aren't doing anything. Like that's the thing is like the market's pushing bullish. Yields like they're not doing anything. Like they dropped earlier in the day. This is when the market rallied like 2%. Like everything kind of corrected, but like this push here over the past couple of hours, over the past 2 hours, like yields ain't doing anything. Dollar's been pushing a little bit lower, so maybe the dollar's helping the market go higher. But I don't know, man. If yields start pushing higher again before we go into close, I'll be curious to see what the market does. But then I'm gonna be curious to see kind of how all those things kind of interact early next week on Monday, Tuesday. I'm all about the yields right now. All about the yields. Yields are putting so much pressure on valuations in a big, big way. Thoughts on puts for Coke? Honestly, I don't like it, dude. like you could sell puts. I would sell puts on Coke. To me, Staples, and I was just looking about this when I went through the sectors. When I was looking at Staples, man, I've mentioned this several times over the past few weeks. Like when Staples were getting through this zone, I was like, dude, every bit of this on his breakdown, just continue to buy Staples. And I was like, this is going to be a pretty good spot. It never even stopped at this spot. It just came all the way through and came all the way down, took out this low from last August or October, last October. And it did that today. Think about that. Think about what is going on today, right? The market's up 1.5%. I can see it right here. SPY's up 1.5%. Staples aren't even positive. Do not buy puts on Staples, on any Staples. You want to be hugely bullish on Staples. Don't be buying. Don't be bearish. Don't be doing bearish things. I mean, they got sold off super hardcore. I don't even know why. I would be, I would have been buying every bit of this. You should be selling puts. Today's a really good day to sell puts on Staples, honestly. Yeah, we might run up into the close. If we are bullish into the close, I would actually buy puts. If hold on, let me clarify. If we run bullish on the market, like kind of like what we're doing, we just keep pushing higher, and yields kind of stay flat, or maybe even they push up a little bit, I would buy puts. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go all in on it, but I mean, because if yields just start to come out next week, people are going to play catch up very quick on Monday and sell off on Monday, Tuesday. They will play catch up real quick. Anyways, that's what I got, man. Exxon? I can check Exxon. I didn't. You know what? Give me a sec. Let me check. Crude oil. Crude oil's kind of flat. It got ripped. Crude oil's gotten ripped this week. Gasoline. Gasoline's flat. Not really doing much. Hasn't done much the past 2 days, but it's been getting hit pretty good over the past couple days. Let's see. Exxon though. XOM. Wow. That's a pretty large gap down. Dude, with first off, I can't ever trade something like this. I mean, you could day trade stuff like this, but I'm more of like I don't like to day trade all that much anymore. I could totally understand selling puts on the shorter term, but like with how much this thing has moved over the past week and a half, like just look at how much that's moved. Let's see. From the close of what day was this? What day was this close? September, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday. This thing moved down 12%. So in the span of 7 trading days, it moved down 12.5%. That's roughly 1.5% a day down. So this thing is crazy. I mean, that's kind of a crazy move because that's not. I mean, that's not a small company. So for the stock to do that, that's kind of nuts. I would say Exxon probably eventually goes lower, and they might retest a little bit higher just because of this gap down. You see all the people that are short covering up here. What's going on, Brian? But yeah, I mean, to me, I don't like this because the stock's already moved. The stock's already moved down, and like it's just in a move. Like I want to see a little bit more of a setup. If you get a couple days where it retests higher and it gets kind of some small daily candles, kind of like how like it did this, like where you push up and it gets some small sideways daily candles. Like I would be more interested in that. Give me the paintbrush. Like if it moves up and it does like like some stuff like that, then you can say okay, if it breaks that down, like I would be interested in getting bearish. Like that's a good setup because then you can set a stop loss there, right? But here, I mean, unless you go intraday, unless you're like intraday trading, I mean, I got nothing, dude. And let me take a look hourly, and like the hourly is just it's just like straight down. Like there's no good consolidation like humps or anything like that. Or I would just rather I'd rather see it kind of some sideways movement a little bit. That way you can kind of plan around some stop losses and stuff like that. How you doing, Brian? But yeah, that's just kind of one thing about Exxon. Um, yeah, I mean that's about it for me, guys. I think we'll probably push a little bit higher on the SPY just because it makes sense for how much bullishness that we're seeing. So it makes sense that we probably get people over the weekend that see this and are like, oh, okay, got to get in, got to get in, got to get in. But I mean, we did spend like the past 4 days under 422. We just never were able to break it down. The market was never really able to break it down, and it had every reason to do it today with a 0.5% gap down, basically at the weekly lows. But it just didn't do it, and then it just popped like that. I mean, that's just it. And we were kind of talking about that yesterday on the live stream. Like, hey, it's basically do or die time now on Friday, or we're gonna pop, and we're getting the pop. I think a lot of this is short covering. My opinion, just a lot of short covering, and I think we'll probably retest up into like 433. Makes a lot of sense. It'll be right above this high. A lot of people will be like, oh, okay, see, we're taking out this high. Time to go bullish, but then it might just retest right into this low back from August 18th, rejects that, and might go down. But the thing I'll be looking for next week is watch the Qs. If the Qs trade down, like immediately starting out early next week, and the SPY actually trades a little bit higher, that's what I would be probably a lot more bearish on if we saw that relationship play out. So, have a great weekend, everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Take care, Hunters.